He says, those that try to live a sustained, high-energy life every single moment of every single day cannot do it. And yet, every day, as teachers, as leaders of teachers, we have to be on. So how do we do that? Well, what he says is you've got to have a balanced life. You have to live in quadrants 1 and 2. You have to live in a place that allows for balance. And the way you stay inspired in your work world is to make sure you have some private time. I had a habit when I was coaching in my early days of teaching. I coached basketball and baseball. During the wintertime as a basketball coach, I would drive home from practice late at night, 7 or 8 o'clock. We had young kids then. And I would get an ice cream cone at the Dairy Queen. Do you have Dairy Queens? Do you know what that is? Okay. So I'd get an ice cream cone at Dairy Queen. I'd drive up 2, 3 houses down from my house. I'd pull over, and I would eat my ice cream cone. And then I'd go into the house because I knew if I went into the house with the ice cream cone, my kids would want me to go take them and get one, and I'm too tired. And then 2, I just wanted ice cream by myself. Yeah, I needed some quadrant 2 time. I just didn't know it was called quadrant 2 time. Well, one night I come home from practice and I'm sitting in my car 3 houses down from where I live, and a police car comes up behind my car. Yeah, and the sirens are going, and the guy, the policeman comes down, and I actually had, I'm not kidding, in those days I had a roll-down window. Yeah, a roll-down window. And so I rolled down my window, and I know the younger teachers are going, huh? I rolled down my window, and I'm eating my ice cream cone. And back then, you wore like spandex shorts if you were coaching, but it was wintertime in Illinois, so I had like a trench coat on. So, yeah, it just wasn't looking good. I mean, no matter how you cut it. And what makes it worse is my neighbor, who I knew, was the one who called the police on me. Like, there's this car, it's outside of my house every night at 7:30. And I just looked at him, I said, do you have children? No. Well, I do, and I live right there. Do you want to go talk to them for me? Anyway, but that's really important. When I first became superintendent, actually took over for Rick, I scheduled a conference with a guy named Harry Tunis over and over and over. It would always show up in my calendar, on a monthly basis. You'd see Harry Tunis from 2 to 3 o'clock, whatever. And finally, after about a year and a half of that, my administrative assistant, who had been Rick's administrative assistant, said to me, she said, Tim, why doesn't Harry Tunis ever show up? And I said, well, he's dead. Yeah. I put this in my calendar so I could have an hour of quadrant 2 time. And with nobody bothering me, Okay, that's pretty sick, but it worked.